Hey guys, Brigade 59 here, and welcome back to a brand new video. And this is my highly anticipated best LEGO modular building for 2018. Back in May of 2016, I made a video in which I basically ranked all of the modular buildings from best to worst. That video was very popular. It's in my top 10 most popular videos. And ever since then, there have been two new modular buildings released, that being the Assembly Square and the Downtown Diner. And basically, when the Assembly Square came out, so many people commented asking me to make a new version of the video. I did not, as just adding one more building really doesn't change the list much. But now with the Downtown Diner out, I had to make a new one. So here we have my updated best LEGO modular building list. Now, for those of you who've not seen that video, basically I rank the modular buildings from best to worst, and the way I do that is not based on personal preference, but rather through a ranking system. So I'll be ranking from 1 to 10 the building's interior, exterior, and then kind of their overall value, which is like their price per piece, size, and overall price. And I'll be adding all three of those scores to have one final total score, and then using the total scores of all the buildings, I will be ranking them from best to worst. Now yes, there will be a few ties in this list, as there will be multiple buildings which will have the same score, and in that case I do kind of rank it based on, I guess, how they look, or also a little bit of a personal preference. But anyways, now let's go ahead and get started and take a look. So we're going to actually go through all the buildings and rank them like chronologically, starting with the Market Street and ending with the diner. And then at the end, I'll be giving you the complete rating. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, starting off here is the Market Street. Now the Market Street came out back in the year 2007 for $90. Now overall, let's take a look at its exterior. I, of course, love the blue color. You have that kind of bright sky blue as well as the dark blue. Really kind of like a cool, different type of color. I just really love how it looks. I like the hints of tan. Overall, just this building is just something really different, really unique. So I love how the exterior looks. It's something kind of like cool, like a skinny type house, like, like a San Francisco styled house. But again, I really do like the exterior. So I'm going to be giving it an 8. In terms of its interior though, there's really nothing to it. If you look at the interior, there is no interior whatsoever, just a few 2x4 bricks to act as stairs. But other than that, there's really nothing on the interior, so therefore it's going to have to receive a 2. And again, just want to quickly let you know, rating of 1 on the interior means there's no interior at all. Rating of 2 on the interior means there's at least somewhat of an interior. But anyways, it's going to receive a 2 on the interior. Then its overall value is, again, only $90, which is super cheap. And you got a lot with it, a lot of cool parts, some like rare blues and dark blues, which is really cool. And you also got some nice accessories as well. So it's going to get a rating of 8 for its overall value, giving it a total rating of 18. Next off, we have the Cafe Corner. Now, this one, again, let's start off with the exterior. It is gorgeous. I absolutely love just how they made that exterior. For one, you could see just the different colors, the tans, browns, dark reds. They really match well together, and I just really love how that looks. Starting off with the first floor, I love those kind of like yellow and white awnings. They look really nice. It just makes it look a really unique building. And then of course I like how they use the tile on their side for the second floor. And then the third floor, I like the staggered red roof. So overall, there's a lot of nice and beautiful detail on the exterior. Also, I really love how they did that hotel sign. So I'm going to give it an exterior of 8. In terms of its interior though, again, sadly, no interior whatsoever. First floor, it's basically just empty, and you can even see the green base plate, which I really don't like. On the second floor, there's like a railing and a couple stairs, and then the third floor is just completely empty. So once again, it receives a 2, as it tried by having some stairs, but really didn't have any interior. And then finally, its overall value, 140 bucks, was a great price for this set. You got so many pieces, just the overall build was really large as well, really like a large size build. And I just really love that. So overall, I'm going to give this a rating of 9 on the overall value, giving it a total score of 19. So once again, that interior really brought this down on the main list. Next off, we have the Greengrocer. Now this is my personal favorite out of all the modular buildings. But anyways, let's take a look first at the exterior. Again, this also is a nice, really town type of feel. So I love, of course, the sand green. That is an awesome color. Definitely wish Lego would make more things in sand green. It's one of my favorite Lego pieces colors. But again, the exterior looks really, really good. Overall, I like kind of how they made the curved windows, like the Victorian styled house design for those front windows. Overall, it just looks really nice. I like those like small dark red curtains. Even the roof looks really nice, and then they have a really nice railing with those, I believe those are skeleton feet, so that's really cool. And then I like those alternating design between the round bricks and the regular bricks on the very edges of the buildings, kind of to give it that cobbled brick look. So overall, I'm going to give it a rating of 8 on the exterior. Now the interior, this was the first building where it really did increase the overall interior. So first floor, I like it's actually furnished. You have a nice little mini grocery store. Again, not amazing detailing, but still pretty decent. Second floor, you have a couple of other small designs, like a grandfather clock, you know, like small little things. And then same thing, third floor, you have a bit of detailing. So overall, they did actually have a decent bit of detailing. I especially love that grocery store on the bottom floor. So I'm going to give it a rating of 5 on the interior. And its overall value, again, this was also 140 bucks. But I felt like while it was an amazing value, the cafe corner just topped it off a bit. So this will be receiving 8 on its overall value, giving it a total score of 21. Next off, this is one of the big ones, the Fire Brigade. Now, let's start off. The exterior looks amazing. This was like a huge step up from the Greengrocer. For one, they started using a lot more of the tiling, and they actually used it really well. You see on that second floor using those tiles on their sides for the bricks. That was a great option. It looks amazing. Overall, the first floor, while it's a bit plain, they still did add a decent bit of detail on it on the exterior. And then, of course, something that Lego hasn't done on the modular buildings is include these kind of cool 3-dimensional signs using actual firefighter hats and the actual axe and hammer. Now, again, in regular buildings, they just put a sticker there, but I really like they went that extra bit. And then, of course, that 1932 sign looks awesome. Really love how that turned out. And then the bell also looks really cool. So overall, this has a great exterior, and it's going to receive a rating of 9. In terms of its interior, it has some okay detailing on the first floor, which I kind of get. It is, of course, a garage, so it might not have as much detailing. You have some places for tools, a place, of course, for the car or the fire truck, which I actually really liked. They actually included a fire truck. And then the second floor also has some pretty good detailing. I like they have a kitchen, they have the ping pong table, that was a great build. They have a nice little entertainment center, couch. So they have a pretty decent interior, and so far this is of course the best of all the interiors of the building so far. So it's going to receive a score of 7. And then finally, its overall value, again, this was $150, so they raised it $10. But still a pretty good value, a lot of parts, very large in size, even though it's 2 floors. It's still a very large building in terms of height with the others. So it's going to receive a score of 8, giving it a final score of 24. Next off, we have the Grand Emporium. Now, starting off with the exterior, it looks pretty good. I like the bottom floor with those dark green round bricks for the awnings. I kind of just like how they use those tiles on the bottom floor. The bottom floor looks terrific. I love that shop sign. Then the second and third floor look pretty good. Again, they use those kind of like textured log bricks rather than using like tiles, which is a bit more simplistic, but it still looks pretty good. And then of course the roof also looks nice. I like those use of those backward arches. And then of course the colors really look nice. I like they have the dark green. It goes really well with that tan. So overall, in terms of the exterior, I'm gonna give it an 8. In terms of the interior, they did step down quite a bit. If you look at it, the Greengrocer, they tiled the first floor in that set. The Fire Brigade, they had a really good second floor. This one, it's a bit of a step back. So basically, what they did, as you could see, the first floor, it's a bit bare. It's just kind of lazy, I feel. It's like a little clothing store, but they just included small little things here and there. Again, not too much detailing, which is kind of disappointing. Second, third floor were just empty. You had a couple of small like glasses, like bottles, and like 2 toys and things. So again, it wasn't that great. The chandelier though was awesome, but again, they did a real step down in terms of the interior. So it's gonna go at a 5. And then finally, overall value, not too bad, $150. This building was quite large. I think probably one of the largest buildings so far, but still, its overall piece count also was a little high, so it's going to receive a score of 7. And that will give it an overall value of 20. Next off, we got the pet shop. Now, the pet shop, starting off with the exterior, it looks really good. It is a bit simplistic, but still looks really good. For one, the pet shop, it looks nice. I like they use sand blue. They're kind of experimenting with these newer colors, which I really do like. I like the pet sign, of course, and you have some nice detailing there. And then the third floor also of the pet shop has a nice roof design, as well as a pretty nice looking window design on the third floor. The townhouse actually looks really good. It may be a bit simplistic, but still, it gets the job done. I really love those curved windows. They did that in the Greengrocer. They're really able to perfect the way that looked in this set, and I really do like that. In terms of the third floor, again, looks pretty nice. That dark red looks really good with the browns. So in terms of its overall exterior rating, it's going to receive a score of 8. In terms of the interior, the pet shop has some decent interior. You have a nice pet shop, of course, which was tiled. So I like now they're going back to tiling the interior, which is awesome. In terms of the second floor, it looks decent. They have a nice little apartment and then a bed on the third floor. So the pet shop, not too bad in terms of detailing. But the townhouse, the first floor looks good as well. But the second and third floor were empty, which I feel was a bit lazy. So that kind of brought its interior rating down a bit to a 6. And then its overall value, again, really nice set, really a lot of parts, decent price at $150. So it's going to receive a score of 7. So its overall rating is 21. Alright, and moving along now, we have the town hall. So starting off with its exterior, I really like the use of the pillars on the first floor. I think that looks really nice. It's a bit of more of a unique feel. In terms of its second and third floor, it is a bit more simplistic, again, using the log bricks rather than like tiles. But for this building, it's definitely able to pull it off. I like the use of the studs to represent like small potted plants. And then the balcony also looks really nice, just adds a bit more of a different, like unique feel to it. So overall, I definitely like the exterior. Definitely not the best, but still a pretty solid exterior. So it's going to receive a score of 8. In terms of its interior, lots of detail. This was a huge step up from the previous modulars. And you could see on the first floor, jam-packed with detail. So we got like a courtroom, a secretary's office, kind of like a waiting room, and yes, a working elevator, which I thought was really, really cool. And then the second floor, you got like the mayor's office, a few other benches and things on the third floor. So overall, a lot more detail in this building compared to the previous ones. This is really where LEGO started to really pay attention to those interiors, and this was awesome. So it's going to also receive a score of 8. And then finally, its overall value. The problem with this one is the fact that yes, it is $200, which is quite expensive. Yes, it is a bit bigger. It's probably the tallest of all the modulars, and it's a bit larger. Still, I feel like 200 was a big step up, as the previous pet shop was 150. They jumped to 200, which is quite a bit. 180 or so would have been better, 170. So because of that, the overall value still decent at 7, giving it an overall score of 23. Moving along, we got the Palace Cinema. So starting off with the exterior, I really love the use, of course, of the movie posters on the bottom floor. I think that's something kind of unique, kind of cool. And then, of course, the ticket window also looks really nice on the first floor. So overall, the first floor looks really good. And then, of course, that palace sign, that looks really cool. I like how they use those Technic bricks to represent like the holes in the P and the A. So that was really cool. The second floor, it's a bit more simple, not as much design or detail, but still they did really good with the use of those dark tans with the regular tan. It really goes together well. And then finally, we have kind of the roof. Now, this is probably my favorite part of this building. I really like that kind of like Chinese architecture, and I like how they use those round bricks for the roof. I thought that was a really smart idea. So overall, the roof looks amazing. So in terms of its overall exterior rating, it's going to receive a score of 7. In terms of its interior looks pretty good as well. So what you could see is it has on the first floor a snack shop, which looks decent. I wish they would have probably added a bit more detail, a few more things. Maybe like, for example, the ticket counter, a bit more detailing there as well. And again, it's not tiled, which is a bit disappointing. But then the second floor, the screening room, that looks really good. I like those nice large red seats, and then the nice movie theater screen. So overall, the second floor looks really good. And in terms of its overall rating, interior-wise, it will receive a score of 7. So not the best interior, but still pretty decent. And then finally, in terms of its overall value, $150. So finally, it was good. They did go back to the lower price point, which is not bad for this building. It's a decent size, so it's going to receive a score of 7. And that will give it an overall rating of 21. Next off, we got the Parisian Restaurant. Let's start off taking a look at that gorgeous exterior. Now, I love the use of those olive green pieces. That's just another unique color. You don't see too much, and it fits really, really well. Starting off the first floor, I like you have like nice plants and like outdoor seating, really like elegant. And then I like how you use that awning with leaves on it, and those dangling lights, kind of like a European style feel. I really love how that looks. And then the second floor looks really nice as well. I love the use of the alternating between the regular light bluish gray brick and the headlight brick with a tile on the side, kind of like to have that like cobblestone type feel. That looks amazing. And then the third floor, or the roof in this case, that looks awesome. I love the use of those white croissants and those oyster shells. It's just something really unique. I like that they're really experimenting with different types of pieces to make designs. I really do love that. And then that chimney looks awesome. Again, that cobblestone type look. I really love how that looks. So overall, it's a really gorgeous exterior. And yes, it's going to receive a score of 9 on the exterior. Moving along to the interior. First floor has a really nice kitchen and some seating, so it has a decent interior. I really actually do love how that kitchen looks with the tiled floor. And then the second floor, it has some more area for seating, which it's not too bad. But then the third floor is really where they kind of went above and beyond in the fact that they added a artist studio, which I thought was really cool. Lego really didn't have to add anything, as that was a really small space, but they still did. So that's really awesome. So it's going to receive an overall score of 8. And then it's in terms of its overall value, $160. That's the problem. It's a little bit pricey, especially for this building. While it looks amazing, it's a little bit small compared to the others. So it's going to receive a score of 7, but it's going to get an overall rating of 24. And that means it, yes, so far is in the lead in terms of the overall ranking. Next up, we have the detective's office. Now, starting off exterior-wise, it looks pretty good. I like the Owl's Barbershop use of the different colored blues, the Unikitty details. I think it's just a really nice little build. I wish maybe they could have extended removed that small brown building in the back and just extended the barber's office or barber shop by like those 6 studs, which would have been really nice. But anyways, the detective's office, the first floor, really elegant feel. Kind of a bit of those 1920s look. I think it looks really cool. And then the top floor has that masonry brick, which I think is another cool brick design. Really something kind of unique to the modular building line, which I really do love. So it's going to receive a score of 7. Then we got the interior, and this is really where they picked it up. This is probably the best interior so far in this list. So starting off, the first floor has that really nice pool table and the billiard sticks. So it's a really nice detailing on the first floor. You got also a couple spaces where you can like smuggle those cookies if you've seen the box. And then the second floor, the detective's office is really cool. It has that really messy vibe like a detective does. So it's really, really nice how that second floor looks. And then the barber shop also, it's really skinny, but they were able to add quite a bit to it. So for one, the first floor looks really nice. And like you get some of those cool like wigs or hair pieces. That was pretty cool. The second floor, you have that reflective mirror. And I know you have a bathroom too, so it's really cool, a really nice detail in terms of its interior, and it's going to receive a score of 8. And now its overall value, sadly Lego bumped up the price $10 once again to $170 this time, and that's kind of what brought its rating down. That and the fact that it is significantly smaller than the previous buildings. The detective's office especially, that one definitely could have been taller. If you see the Owl's Barbershop, that's around the height modular building should be. So it was a real step down, and therefore it receives an overall rating of 6, giving it a total score of 21. Alright, and next off we have a look at the Brick Bank. Now this building also looks pretty decent in terms of its exterior. I love the use of the gold bar pieces in the light bluish gray color. That's really cool. Same thing, the statue right above the doorway, that looks nice. And then I love that they finally were able to have the windows in the sand green. So that was awesome. And then the use of those zipline pieces again on the roof. So overall, they did a great job with the exterior. Even like that little laundromat, some of the details in that. So it's going to receive an overall score of 7 on the exterior. In terms of the interior, again, a great interior. In terms of the overall, you could see the first floor, you have a bit of a nice bank, which is completely tiled. You have a nice safe with money inside, which looks really cool. A lot of nice detail. The second floor includes the bank manager's office. So overall, a lot of nice detailing on the interior, and I really do love that. So in terms of its overall interior rating, it's going to receive a score of 8. And I actually forgot to mention, I also like that they kind of have that bit of story with it where you can smuggle the money in the laundromat or try and break into the safe. So it's kind of cool adding some nice details like that. So again, it received the overall interior score of 8. And then its overall value, it receives a score of 5. And the reason why it's so low is, yes, it's really small compared to the other modulars. It was quite a step down, which was again quite disappointing. It's significantly shorter by like 4 or 5 bricks, so that was kind of disappointing. Also, I wish maybe they would have removed the laundromat and just extended the bank even more. But anyways, it will receive a overall score of 20. Next off, we have the assembly square. Now again, this one looks decent. The building's exteriors look pretty good. I like kind of how they're modeled after older modulars, like the building on the far left, which has a bit of a cafe corner type feel. Then the building in the center is like the Parisian Restaurant styled. And then the building on the right, it's just kind of like a fusion of a few of the other ones, like the town hall in terms of that orange color. So overall, the exterior looks kind of nice. The only problem is that it was, because the buildings are so small, you can't add as much detail. But still a pretty solid exterior. It's going to receive a score of 8. Its interior, jam-packed. You have that music studio or music store, the ballerina studio, the flower shop. You got the cake, the pastry shop. You got the Lego Lovers City and room. So a great interior. That's going to receive a score of 8 as well. And then its overall value is a 5, and the reason why is it's a $280 set, which is insanely expensive. That's a $110 increase, which is quite disappointing. Definitely not worth it. If you look, it is actually only a half base plate larger than a regular modular. So it's a disappointing price, and that brings its rating to overall value to 5, giving it a total score of 21. And then finally, we got the Downtown Diner. This set is amazing. Let's start off taking a look at that exterior, and I love the use of that dark azure blue. I like how they, did the brick-built diner sign. That looks spot on. In terms of kind of the apartment section, I like that they use the tiles on their side to represent the like bricks. So I thought that was a really cool design. And again, this has a gorgeous exterior, and then I love its curved. All the buildings pretty much so far have been blocky and square. Finally, we got something kind of cool, unique, and different. So therefore, it's going to receive a score of 9 on its exterior. In terms of its interior also, jam-packed. You got the nice apartments with some nice detailing on them, but then the diner is really where it steps up. You got a nice checkerboard floor. So you got, of course, the benches, tables, the bar area. So it looks gorgeous on the interior. And yes, it's going to receive a score of 9 on the interior as well. But then comes the overall value. Now, while this looks awesome, it is, again, still a little bit smaller compared to the previous modulars. Because of that, the overall value just goes down just a bit at 7. And that will give it a overall score of 25. So there are all the modular buildings ranked in terms of its ratings. Now let's rank them from best to worst. Starting off at number 13, we have Market Street. Number 12, we have Cafe Corner. Number 11, we have the Grand Emporium. Number 10, we have the Brick Bank. Number 9, we have the Palace Cinema. Number 8, we have the Assembly Square. Number 7, we have the Detective's Office. Number 6, we have the Pet Shop. Number 5, we got the Greengrocer. Number 4, we have the Town Hall. And now, pretty exciting, the top 3. At number 3, we have the Fire Brigade. At number 2, we have the Parisian Restaurant. And at number 1, we have the Downtown Diner. So there you go. That is a ranking of all the modular buildings based on this rating system. So again, this was based on the rankings of the rating system. I also personally, for a couple of them, I would have put higher. But anyways, tell me what you guys think of this rating. So do you agree with this list? I'd love to hear about your list down in the comments below. Let me know what of these is your favorite modular. So anyways, thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more videos coming very soon. And thank you so much if you stayed around, as this is a rather long video as well. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. This is Brigade 59, and I'll see you all next time.